Hey everyone, welcome back to the dirtiest spot on YouTube. I am your ghost, and unfortunately, I am feeling underneath the weather, so I'm going to sound pretty shitty throughout this video, but that's okay because I think it's fitting for this series. Not saying that the series is shitty. Here we are, and I am still pretty mixed on the show. We've just finished episode 5, so we have 3 left to go. My concerns are still, if you saw my previous video, my one main concern was like, oh, the outbreaks is going to happen because of a stupid decision from these kids, and I was hoping that Mara would be kind of like the way to trigger that, and it seems like that we will be going down that way, which is great. But again, my big complaint with the show and stuff like that is the poor writing. The characters are dumb. I can start with like episode 4. So like, I really don't like Wendy anymore. I never really had a fascination with her. I was open to being like, okay, we could see where we go with her, but the direction we're leading with her, is she going to be like a queen? Is she going to be able to communicate? She's going to communicate with these aliens and shit. And I get the premise and the comics and stuff like that. And like, I guess like, Alien Resurrection stuff, that the whole goal was to control the xenomorphs somehow. And mimicking their sound is kind of a unique idea. It's just with all like aliens all over the place with timelines. I don't like what they're doing with Wendy. I don't get it. I don't see how this could be cool. I think it's cringy when she opens her mouth and she sounds like a fucking cockroach having sex. I don't like the idea of like trying to communicate with an alien. I mean, I could see the idea working if it's like, oh, we've been researching this for years. We've gone through numerous hives. We've tested this on various xenomorphs and shit like that. We have like a really good, I don't fucking know what you want to call it, but no, she can just do it right off the rip. She can just hear it and do it. And I guess they did mention that she has amazing hearing, so that's cool. And then I just don't know where they're going to go with this. And I'm kind of worried that maybe she's going to like control the aliens to fend off different aliens or save her fucking brother. But, the Xeno that already saved her fucking brother's dead. So, another thing I don't give a fuck about most of these characters. And I don't think any of you guys do either. Like, the only interesting character, like I've mentioned, is Morrow. I guess Timothy Oliphant's character is a little interesting. In episode 4, he hears Morrow talk to that kid and say like, you need to get a guy close and get him to that egg. And he's just like, okay. Like, he doesn't care. So maybe he's like a double agent. So I kind of like that. The girl that's pregnant, is she so traumatized that she's now like thinks she's pregnant? It's stupid. We don't care about this shit. None of us do. We want to see the aliens. We want to see more. I would like to see more of like Morrow and shit. Episode 4 overall is pretty mid, and like we got to see one cool scene with the sheep, but like we all kind of had a feeling like what we would see is like this thing's gonna rip out its eyeball. And sure, it was very visceral and cool. And here's another complaint about the show: they don't really show a lot what the in the next episode they do, but like we don't get to see a lot of xenomorph death. Like the first 3 episodes, we got to see like an aftermath and how stupid the xenomorph is. But can we actually see it like rip somebody in half? We did get to see it, like kiss a dude and like fling him around. That was pretty cool. But we need more of that. So they kind of treat Xeno like a dummy again. He kills that one Asian guy, I would assume quickly. Probably not. And then when he gets to the girl, he's like, hello, what's up, lady? And then kind of chases her around a little bit. But then at the end, when he gets his ass kicked by Squidward, he's so pissed, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you. And I think I know why the alien's so dumb. It's because these characters are so stupid. The guy that the alien came from, he's fucking a coworker and shit on a company ship. That's stupid as hell. No, that's not why the xenomorphs are stupid. They're stupid because they're writing them stupid. But there is an alien, though, I'm very, very intrigued with, and I think is pretty awesome. The fucking eyeball. Dude, it's smart. It's smart, and I want to know more about it. Episode 5 actually reminded me a lot of the Thing prequel. As bad as that movie is, well, I guess you could say there's some cool things in that movie, but most of it's not great at all. But what was cool about that movie was you did get to see, like in the first, spoilers if you've never seen The Thing. Also spoilers for this entire series. I'm hoping you're caught up. But in The Thing, they go back, like, they go back to a facility where the thing was, it came from, and there's like, you know, these dead bodies and stuff. And then in the prequel movie, you get to see like, oh, that's how that happened, and it looks like, oh, that's cool. It looks kind of like back in 1982 when the fuck that movie came out. So episode 5, like, we got to see the dude on the operating table with his chest burst open. In episode 1, I was like, oh, that was a face hugger, or I'm sorry, a chest burster for sure. But no, like, these ticks, and like the ticks are cool too. I actually kind of fuck with them. Like, it goes into the girl's water cup, and then like puts tadpoles in there, like little tadpoles and shit. And a dude drinks them, and oh my god, that's fucking horrifying. When they cut him open, you see these ticks like on his, oh god, that was fucking brutal. It's an insect, so like when you pick it up, it's got like a defense mechanism, so that's why it squirted that. Oh my god, that shit was crazy, dude. Like when it farted and like all the dude's eyes and shit were bleeding, that was horrific. That was cool. So that like, that's stuff I like. Morrow, the aliens, and then I mentioned on the prior episode, like, I think the way the show looks is incredible, sounds great. It's just, that's fantastic and stuff. Good eats there. But why I'm so mixed because of this writing. Like, it sucks because as an Alien fan, we have 2 incredible movies, and then Alien's not too great from then on. You know, sometimes it can get fucking bad. I'm fucking 16, and I'm taking my girlfriend out to go see a shit horror movie bad. That bad. You know, Alien Covenant was terrible. I guess you take what you get, but what we've had before with incredible writing, smart characters, and an alien that's not a fucking moron. But I just don't know, because like these other aliens seem to be more intelligent, you know? I could talk all day about how dumb this writing is, and I think we all could too. Another thing I did like, let's talk about some goofy things. Like, did anyone else kind of think it was a little funny when the infected guy started attacking the xenomorph? I thought that was pretty overall, that fight was fucking cool, but it kind of was a little funny when he took a bite out of him and the alien was like, ah! When he got out, like, oh, I thought that was cool where the fucking eyeball thing was like, I want you, and it got onto its face and shit. That was crazy. In case you didn't know, the xenomorph has like a dome. It's a style choice for like throughout some of the series. Like sometimes they have rigid domes and stuff, but this one has a dome. And underneath the dome, in the first movie, you can actually see like a human skull in there and shit. So are we gonna see like maybe like in a future episode, a xenomorph gets like fucking head struck or something, and it's got like a crack, and then that eyeball thing gets in there, and then you can see like the skull and like the eyeball in there. Oh, and then what would that thing do? That kind of also takes me back to like the Thing, where like that creature, it can take different forms, and like who knows like what else it could do. Like, does it take knowledge, you know, from other creatures and stuff? And I think this one, I don't know if it does. Like, we don't know anything really about it and stuff, but we know that this thing is smart, and it's a lot smarter than the alien, which is kind of fucking crazy to think about. This is just a weird complaint out of nowhere, but like, there's a sex scene. We didn't have to see that at all. Like, really, we didn't. Like, I get like he's watching the cameras. Sure, you could have that, but you don't have to have it where you go in there and we're in the moment and we feel for these characters and stuff. I don't know you. Your husband's dead, or your boyfriend's dead in a fucking thing. I don't even know his fucking name. And like she's spreading ashes and stuff, but what it sounded like was it was like a one night stand. It's like, oh, do you ever get lonely in space? It's like, I guess I haven't been there. That pissed me off. We don't need to see that stuff in the show. I didn't talk about this prior and stuff, but like every time they end the episodes, it ends with like a song, you know, like I guess a modern song, maybe not modern, but like, you know, a popular song, I guess I'll call it that. Complimentary, I don't fucking know, but it's not complimentary. It pisses me off. It takes me out of it. Like episode 5, I actually quite overall did enjoy. I'd probably give that one like maybe a 7, you know. And as soon as like, what was it, Smashing Pumpkins? As soon as that shit hits, I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, you set up this cool thing, and like the Weyland-Yutani place, like that place looks cool. Like samurai dudes with like a pulse rifle thing. I'm down for that. That was cool. Okay, well, someone sabotaged the ship. Who sabotaged the ship? Well, it was a guy. I thought it was going to be that Asian guy who was kind of weird and creepy, but it does seem like he did know who was fucking with the ship. And like, I was very intrigued with the character at first because I was like, why is he watching this guy or this girl? He's just probably a fucking pervert, honestly. There's no like deep connection where like maybe they're cousins. I don't know. It's something unique, because Alien does like weird shit all the fucking time and they make it cool, but this show makes it weird and doesn't go anywhere. So he dies by a xenomorph and stuff, and like his characters are dumb. He was a dumb character overall. And I kind of wish it was him that did it now, because who we did get was just some generic guy that wanted money. And I get it. Like, I mean, in his theory, like, it was like, oh, I'm going to be here for 65 years. When I get back, I get like a quarter of a share and stuff. And he's like, oh, if you bring me these specimens, see, it's Boy Cavalier. Also, did you know his middle name's Man? Boy Man Cavalier? Bet you didn't know that. But no, that's not really his middle name. But that'd be funny and stupid. It would be fitting for the show. So, but he contacts the ship and stuff. And I do like the idea where it was like, someone sabotaged the ship, and like, why? And, like, that's a cool idea, like working for another company with stuff. But it had to be Prodigy, right? I was hoping for another 5-member. Maybe they'd be like, this is stupid to think about. Like, maybe another company contacted Weyland to take out like Prodigy and shit. But then that would open up another can of worms, like with writing and shit, in my head at least. The first episode, he sends these robots and shit, and he knows there's fucking aliens in there. Like, in the first episode, we don't know that. But now we found out that he knows, and he contacted that ship and stuff. And then someone answered me this. I don't want to go back and watch the episode to find an explanation. Someone help me. Do they mention, like, while they're crashing into space that they're going to hit a Prodigy building? Do they mention that at all? Contacting a ship and stuff and having it crash where you want it without, like, fuel or, like, a guidance system or anything. Like, does Mother say, like, oh, hey, we're going to hit this building guaranteed? Or is it like, I don't know where we're going to fucking hit? And I like the idea where it was like, oh, this random ship just crashed into my fucking building and, like, I have you and stuff. But no, he planned it from the start. And I just don't buy the fact that this conveniently lands in the building and stuff. But again, that's all for the writing stuff, just for the script to work in their favor. So, man, I think the point they're going to set up with is they're going to kill him brutally and stuff, and that'll be satisfying to see. But wouldn't it have been more fascinating to get like a non-L type kind of character, someone that like doesn't put their feet up and like point to stuff and shit? That's like L, from like Death Note. He did that kind of shit. And this guy, I just don't like him. And then he like reads Peter Pan to like these robot kids and stuff, and that's adorable and that's so cute. But like these kids are now becoming psychotic and lunatics and shit. Overall, I'm still mixed on the show. I'm gonna finish it, but is there gonna be a season 2? I'm hoping not. And I'd like to talk about the future of Alien for what I think needs to happen and where I think it's gonna go. So what I want to happen for Alien, I'm talking strictly Alien. Go back to the past, like maybe like ancient xenomorph stuff. I'm a little interested in the engineer stuff, but in all honesty, let's just not do that. I did have an idea of like a hive war, like maybe do aliens genocide. We could have some Marines come in there trying to like maybe do some research, be like, why are these guys attacking each other? And then maybe we can introduce like Royal Jelly, Xenozip, all that kind of stuff. And I think that could be more palatable if they do it smartly, But I don't know, like the genocide comics, they weren't really that great, right? I read them like when I was like fucking 12 or some shit. It's been a long, long time. Now, here's the direction I think it will head. For strictly Alien stuff, I'm pretty sure Fede Alvarez, I believe that's the director's name, who directed Romulus, whoever that director was, I believe he's getting another movie. So hopefully we'll see a massive improvement on the sequel, because there were some great bones in the original. However, they used a lot of, hey, members, and like, hey, look at this, Alien this, Aliens that, Resurrection this, Prometheus that. But the exciting thing for Alien right now is that if you're a massive Alien fan like I am, you're more than likely a Predator fan. And Prey was a great movie. And this movie, Predator Badlands, coming up, looks fucking sweet. And the robot is a Weyland-Yutani android. And the robot says, like, you're hunting a creature you can't kill. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to see a xenomorph. Maybe we will get to see something, but I think that's where we're leading to, is an AVP movie. And if we can have, I guess, maybe Alvarez and whoever the director is for this Badlands movie, make a movie together. I think we could have an excellent AVP movie. We really could. You know, something actually fucking sick. You know, instead of it being that Resident Evil fucking weird kung fu slow-mo garbage. Most people know what a xenomorph is. So, like, people like that just casually see it. Maybe they saw Alien when, like, years ago, and they liked the Romulus movie. This is up their jam for sure. But for me, being a diehard Alien fan ever since I was a child, and going through quite the ringer of terrible movies, and we're actually getting something quite decent, but we have problems. The problems are large to me, and the things that they're doing right are quite small in comparison. So it's just, I'm being more harsh on it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I'm done rambling. What are you guys' thoughts below? Like, is the show, like, are you enjoying the show a little bit more? Is it getting any better for you? I'm still pretty much the same. I thought episode 5 was by far the best episode. But again, it did have problems, you know, like some weird tropey shit, dumb writing, and a awesome song at the end that makes you just completely forget you're watching an Alien TV show. Well, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay dirty.